Stanley, page 15. Therefore, when Father MacDonagh arrived at my door when Stanley was 6 weeks old, I really didn't know what to expect. In fact, it was a very friendly visit, with Stanley's christening plans being the main topic of conversation. Burr and I hadn't really thought about the matter very much up until that point. We were both so exhausted from trying to cope with Stanley that spiritual matters were very much pushed to one side. However, Father MacDonagh was both a persuasive and forceful man. He was also very sweet-toothed. By the time he left our house that night, he had consumed a packet of coconut creams, 6 jam donuts, plus 4 mugs of tea with 5 spoons of sugar in each. He also left with the christening date penciled into his diary. It was to be held 1 week later, Saturday, the 3rd of June at 6 p.m. We immediately swung into action. Operation Baptiste Baby had begun. It actually only took about 20 minutes to complete the plans, as all we really had to do was to telephone my brother and Burr's sister and ask them to be godparents. They were both delighted to be asked and were ready and willing to oblige. Okay, both sets of grandparents were then contacted and were thrilled that we were not abandoning Stanley's soul to eternal damnation. We spent the rest of the evening eating Father MacDonagh's leftovers and planning a little party for after the christening. We decided on a buffet. Now on to page 16. Okay, with some nice savouries and tarts and a few bottles of champagne. It was a special occasion after all. The appointed day arrived, and our guests all assembled in our front room an hour before the ceremony was due to begin. My brother Tom, who works as a hotel manager in Kerry, arrived with his wife Sue that morning. Burr's sister Maureen and her husband Phil had arrived from Dublin the night before. It was the first time that any of them had actually seen Stanley, and none of them would believe the horror stories we had told them about him. In fact, even though his behaviour up to now had branded him a little devil, his performance on this occasion was more in keeping with that of an angel. He cooed and laughed and gurgled and chuckled as he was passed from each doting aunt to adoring uncle. He startled Sue with his winking trick, but she was quite flattered when we explained he did this to every attractive female face.